Well, Loch Ness has its monster. Does San Antonio have one too? Strange sightings of a huge flying creature have been reported as recently as 6 months ago. Is it a monster or a myth? KENS 5's Joe Conger has the story.
We were afraid that it would come at us, so we stayed in the car until it passed us this way.
Guadalupe Cantu was busy working his newspaper route, but he says the big news of that day 10 years ago flew right over his car.
This thing's all feathers, all black.
Bigger than you?
Oh yeah, much bigger than me. Like I said, in flight it looked about this wide, and that's just the body, about this wide.
Cantu says he's seen what most have not, an unidentified flying object, one that still scares him. Giant, bird-like creatures.
It looked at us, you know, it had very stooped up shoulders.
Spotted from the Rio Grande Valley of Texas.
Looked like what was possibly two people standing on top of the mountain up there.
To the mountains of New Mexico.
Something that big, I guess it kind of makes you feel like it could just come over and carry you off if it wanted to.
What's interesting, though, is that these reports of these giant raptor-like birds do continue into modern times.
San Antonio's Ken Gerhard's written a book on the subject. Dark birds as big as planes with wingspans from 15 to 20 feet. Native Americans called them thunderbirds. Depicted in their art, their flapping wings were said to cause explosive noises. Gerhard says there's solid evidence something is overhead.
I believe there's a good chance that a number of large, prehistoric animals, if you will, remain undiscovered by modern science.
So what could they be? Some witness sketches eerily resemble prehistoric creatures like the pteranodon of 160 million years ago. But Gerhard theorizes it could be a creature a little less extinct, if that's possible. A teratorn.
These are the surviving ancestors of modern condors and vultures. They lived up until about 6,000 years ago, we know for sure, in parts of North America. In fact, over 100 specimens have been recovered from the La Brea tar pits in California.
Critics have another take. Human error.
Was it really as big as he thought it was? When there's enough information to come to determination, I've always found an explanation for it.
Ben Radford, editor of Skeptical Inquirer magazine, says the eye can be deceived.
Eyewitness testimony is very unreliable, and so it's hard for a person to tell, even experts to tell, you know, is that thing that I'm seeing out there, is it small and nearby, or is it huge and farther away?
But in one sighting in San Antonio, 3 people gave similar accounts, witnessing the same flyby of a huge winged creature. A trio of Southside teachers traveling a deserted road had their cars buzzed by the monsters. It made the papers in February of 1976. In fact, for decades, papers throughout South Texas have chronicled the flying creatures. And in the age of the internet, the reports continue, now online, like this one from a sighting near Huebner and Babcock Road.
The creature was large, at least 6 feet. I don't know if I ever want to see another one.
If I were outside there walking, it would have gone after me.
Guadalupe Cantu believes most sightings go unreported because people are afraid of the ridicule they could face. But he says a face-to-face encounter with the creature is much worse.
I think if you do see it, you might wind up missing.
Joe Conger, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Well, for more information on cryptozoology, the study of the unexplained, go to mysanantonio.com.